it comes to the last days, you do not want to be on the wrong side of the Torah. Matter of fact, there is great benefit to being on the right side of the Torah. Hi, this is Barry Phillips with 10-Minute Torah, day number 3 of the Torah portion, Eikev. We're still in Devarim, or Deuteronomy, chapter number 7, and we're going to go down a little bit further in verse number 13. It says that Yahweh shall love you and bless you and increase you, and shall bless the fruit of your womb and the fruit of your land, your grain and your new wine and your oil, the increase of your cattle and the offspring of your flock in the land which he swore to your fathers to give you. Blessed are you above all peoples. There is not going to be a barren man or a barren woman among you or among your livestock. And Yahweh shall turn away from you all sickness and put on you none of the evil diseases of Mitzrayim which you have known, but he shall put them on all those who hate you. Interesting. Yah is saying to you and I that he is going to grant to us covenant benefit, special benefit, for walking in accordance to his word. Let's back up here and get very basic for a moment. It has been popularly preached, a hard word to say, very often preached, that the Torah has been done away with, that this word, this legal code, the law, if you will, has been done away with, and therefore it no longer applies to us. Well, let me just show you something here, if I can get back to Genesis 1:1. That would mean taking this much out of the scriptures. Let's reverse that. This part right here, the first 5 books of scripture, say everything that is said in the rest of the text. This portion here that is the vast majority of the books and maps and pictures at the end, it's commentary on what is said here. It's inspired commentary. It is given by the Ruach HaKodesh, certainly. But nothing in the back half can disagree with what's already been stated in the very front half, or else the back half is illegitimate and not correct. Because Yah said this much first. And if he does away with this, then we pull this out of thin air. It's a balancing act, and we need to be aware of that. Let me go a little bit further. And I get a little riled up here, so I'm going to try to pull myself down a notch or two. But the Torah says that if anyone denies the Torah, tries to turn you away from following the Torah, redescribes who Yah is or the Messiah is other than what's already been said in the Torah, and turns you toward a different version, that if they prophesy to you, even if what they prophesy comes true, you're not to listen to them. There's a long list of modern day prophets who prophesy who delegitimize the Torah. And we say, well, what they said came to pass. Doesn't matter. Do not listen to them. It's plain and simple in Scripture. Yah says that he will be on the side of those who walk according to his word and according to his covenant, the one that he gave to our forefathers. And that there is blessing and favor and increase and substance and wealth and ability and strength available to those who walk accordingly. Then he says, those that hate you, the word there is sene, I hope I pronounced that right, a shin, a nun, and an aleph. The shin is teeth that consumes. The nun can represent the heir, the one who inherits. And then the aleph is the strong one. So it is those who hate that seek to consume the heir of the strong one. They are warring against Yeshua, our Messiah, when they hate Israel because of Israel and its Messiah, or her Messiah, or their Messiah. He says then that he will put on them the diseases that were in Mitzrayim. Now, Israel was getting ready to go into the land. Moshe is trying to help them to be prepared for that. He's trying to encourage them. And in doing so, he gives them their number one weapon. They're going into the land to fight giants and also to fight against armies that perhaps are behind strong walls and outnumber them. It's not military prowess or technique on the battlefield that is going to grant Israel their victory. Yah says, concerning the battles that are to come, he said, your number one weapon is, and it's found in verse number 18, remember well what Yahweh your Elohim did to Pharaoh and all Mitzrayim. What's the weapon? Remember. Remember what I did to your previous enemies. What I did to them, I'm going to do to those who oppose you now. That lesson also counts for you and I. Just as Yah defeated the Mitzrites for Am Israel, just as Yah defeated Og of Sihon and Sihon, king of the Amorites, and Og of Bashan. I got that mixed up. Just as he defeated them, just as he defeated all of the adversaries that were in the land, the Canaanites, the Perizzites, the Hivites, the Jebusites, and all those other ites. Just as he has defeated Israel's enemies time after time after time, those that you and I face, whether it's enemies of words, enemies of deeds, enemies of politics, enemies of any other version, Yah will fight against them if we remember two things. One, remember him and his covenant. Number two, remember his past victories he's already won for us. Do not be discouraged. Do not be defeated by headlines and media reports, much of which you can discount as misleading and as one of the frequent commentators on TV, misinformation. It's bogus. Don't even worry about it. Yah's word is true, and let every other man be a liar. Let men lie, but let Yah tell you the truth. Now, he says to remember. The Goyim, the nations, are indeed going to line up against Yerushalayim. When you read the book of Revelations, you will find that out of the mouth of the dragon, the false prophet, and the beast come three demon spirits looking like frogs that go and deceive sovereigns to align their armies against Israel. No matter what the UN, the US, the UK, Russia, Syria, Iran, Iraq, Jordan, Egypt, Lebanon, Turkey, Hamas, Hezbollah, Abbas, the PLO, Fatah, and Al-Qaeda do, threaten to do, claim to do, Yah is going to pile up all of these nations into a heap of dead bodies, and they will come to nothing, because that's what Yah has promised to do. Further, he says he's going to send in the hornet, the Tirzah. It comes from the same root as the word sarat, leprosy, the skin disease. That insect is going to go in before Israel and rout the enemies and cause them to come out of their hiding places and defeat them before Israel even shows up on the battlefield. Y'all's got weapons. Y'all's got a plan. Be on the right side of the Torah and be a winner. More tomorrow. Until then, shalom.